What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Phoenix Wright Attorney 9. My name is Isaiah, and I will be your public appointed defendant for the evening. And if you remember last time, we struck out trying to find the other broken knife, the murder weapon. And I have a pretty good idea of what it is. I just don't know how to go about showing it because I already presented it. So I'm pretty sure that it's got to be the knife that was there, right? This is a broken. It's a broken. We're missing the broken sword, or due to the size, the knife. But I already presented that, so we're just gonna keep looking through here, see if there's anything else we have that could potentially put us in the vicinity of that. We already know that that's not the murder weapon. We've already established that fact. We know it's not the screwdriver, because the screwdriver I already presented and that didn't work. That doesn't really make any sense, so it can't be that. I don't think there's anything in here that I can really use. No, clearly not. Autopsy report, single stab wound piercing heart lung. Well, less than 10 minutes. Weapon found in wound was missing tip. Let's see. Evidence list. Can I look at that? No, all that shows is the picture, so that's really not helpful. That's not helpful. The prints. Clear handprint can be seen on the leather cloth. The print blocks. I think I'll get this information myself. Okay, so we're holding on to that. That's not going to be anything then. We're keeping that to ourselves. Ooh, hang on. Well, there it is in that picture. I wonder. Let's go ahead and just present. Let's go ahead and just present that. Maybe that's enough. In the prosecutor trophies there, maybe it's enough. The answer lies in the past. 2 years ago in the past. Right here inside this picture. Ah, we got it. I love when the music stops and then you can tell that that you got it right. This is a picture of the award ceremony. Ah! What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? It's the broken meta weapon. Notice the award Prosecutor Marshall is holding. That's a broken knife. So we earlier concluded the knife in the drawing was not Joe Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood from this award. Ooh. Order, order. Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and knife. When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation. But that can't be. Oh, and why not, Mr. Edgeworth? Why can't that be it? Because if the King of Prosecutors Award knife was a murder weapon, then the murder and the victim would be reversed. Unless he got the knife from him. I don't know. What do you mean? I mean, the man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Oh. Ooh. Alright, Edgeworth. You boomed me. You win this round. But the prosecutor was the one who actually died. That's true. It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions.
Wait, I remember now. I remember everything.
Witness?
Mr. Edgeworth.
What is it?
Could you show me your evidence list again, please?
His list. The one with that picture scribbled on the back. That's the one, bud.
I knew it. This picture. I'm the one who drew it.
Huh? What? You drew that?
That's right. The list was torn in half the time I drew this picture. Wasn't torn in half.
Wow.
All this time I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me.
Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness's testimony. Would you please tell us what you've recalled, Miss Skye?
Yes, Your Honor.
Alright. First the knife that makes now the blue badger. Should be interesting. This is weird. What's happening? Alright, so let's see what she actually remembers now.
When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and I rushed toward both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then there was another flash of lightning. That's when I saw the blue badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
What? Is the blue badger like AI?
Try impossible. The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year.
I mean, he didn't even exist 2 years ago.
Yes, well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination. Hold on.
What?
Stop, please. Don't pursue this any further.
Lana, what are you doing?
What's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair.
But you can't do this. I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that?
Chief Prosecutor Skye, we've already come this far. It's too late to turn back.
Thank you, Edgeworth. Thank you for believing in the law.
Bailiff, please detain the defendant.
Okay. Finally getting close. Here we go. Alright, Emma. When you saw the man raise a knife, press, that's what we do here. When you say that man, I assume you refer to Joe Dark.
Yes, at least I think it was him.
You think?
All I could really see were shadows.
A power outage that immediately preceded the incident is also documented in the prosecutor's office reports. So then you...
Right. So then you panic and rush toward both of them. Why would you do something so dangerous?
What else could I have done? He was about to stab Mr. Marshall.
Convinced Dark was the one holding the knife.
But we've just theorized. Mr. Marshall was the one holding the knife.
Well, I didn't know that at the time. When that Dark guy knocked me down, all I could think was, I've got to help that other person.
Knocked away the man with the knife, so you indirectly killed Marshall. What do you mean you think?
It all happened so fast, and I was in shock. I don't remember everything clearly. What I did, it's all kind of a blur.
Miss Skye was almost killed before she was a witness to a murder about to take place. With so much happening in a matter of seconds, little disorientation is only natural.
I saw the man about to stab the other person who I thought was Mr. Marshall. I knew I had to stop the man with the knife.
What you did was very brave, young girl. So then what happened next?
Thank you, Judge. That was very nice of you to say. So when you saw the blue badger, okay. Are you sure about that?
Of course. See? I even drew a picture of him here.
But it was the chief of detectives who thought up this hideous beast. And that was just this year. The blue badger didn't exist 2 years ago. This is all quite verifiable.
I know it sounds strange. I was surprised too when I saw him at the police department. I had this nagging feeling I'd seen him before somewhere.
Okay, so here's what we know. The blue badger did not exist 2 years ago. And yet, Emma drew it 2 years ago. So there has to be something connecting those two. Something in the chief's office.
Now I finally remember.
Just when you thought she'd cause enough commotion.
Tell us, where in the room do you see him dancing?
His shadow. Assuming you didn't actually see his face with its winning smile and all.
That's right, but I still remember it. He had 3 creepy horns.
This is pointless. That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken.
That may well be. But what's important is what caused her to think she saw what she did. That's true.
Oh, and I suppose you have an explanation. So then, by all means, please tell us what this shadow really was.
Obviously, we know what it is. Duh. Blue Badger hadn't even dreamt up an imagery of this picture, yet she's certain she saw its shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the defense's belief that on that fateful day 2 years ago, there indeed was something that looked similar to the Blue Badger, something that is now sitting in this very room.
Mr. Wright.
In this room. Very well, Mr. Wright. What is it the witness saw in that instant? Please show us a mysterious Blue Badger look-alike. Okay, well, I think, what would have been in the chief's office 2 years ago? That's really what it boils down to, is what was there. The first thing, possibly the King of Prosecutors trophy. And I don't see any way that that could look like... I don't see any way that that could look like... the Blue Badger. So I'm going to say no on that. There's the actual Blue Badger, which did not exist, so that can't be it. Was any of this stuff in the chief's office? This would have been, I believe, right? No, this wouldn't have even been there. No way that can look like the Blue Badger. Now, that could have been in the, that very well could have been in the chief's, that was in the chief's office. I mean, it's right there. Is there any way you can look at the Blue Badger? I mean, I don't know, maybe. Maybe? Looks more like a Blue Badger than the Prosecutor's Trophy, so let's go with it. The mysterious Blue Badger was in fact this. But that's... what is that? I believe it's some sort of jar.
But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the Blue Badger.
Okay, you're right. Since just now it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint? Our viewpoint. Got to show them the correct angle to look at this from. What? Maybe if we like... That can't be it, right? What about that? Turn it upside down? I don't think that would be it either. I mean, could that be it? The blood's on that side, so that could be helpful. Let's try that. This isn't right. I gotta make it look more like the Badger. Huh. Show them the correct angle. Okay, so that wasn't it. Okay, so these horns have to have something to do with it, right? What about that?
I just don't see how this can possibly look like the blue badger. What about that? No, that's not it either. Okay. This is hard. Turning it like that. Wait a second. I think I might. What about that? That's not right either? Oh, jeez. Man. I mean, this connecting here makes sense that these two would be the horns on the outside. Right? I do like the Blue Badger music, but at what cost, you know? Man, I don't know how to make this look like the Blue Badger. Wait a second. Could that be it? Because that one looks like it would have been broken, right? That's not right either, huh? Oh, can I look at Emma's drawing again? Let's look at that. Man, what angle could that be at to really emulate? Man. I just don't know. I mean, have I tried this one already? Jeez, what is it? I just don't get it. I just, like, geometry as a whole, this doesn't make sense to me, man. I'm really to be stuck here forever. Alright, you know what? I just don't get it.
I mean... Man, why is it so hard? I don't get it. How can this thing possibly look like the blue badger? Like that at all? That's not right either. That's not it either. Oh, jeez. Alright. Let's go for it again. With that. No, that's not right either. Okay. Man, this is a lot. This is a lot here. Alright, let's go for it again. Go for it again here. See what happens. I'm doing it like this. How about that? Come on! This is ridiculous. This last trial is just insane to me, man. This is honestly insane. It's frustrating. How long have I been on this part now? Huh? Wish my arrow keys worked for this, but I've got it synced to mouse. Jeez, this is ridiculous. This honestly is ridiculous. I've been on this for how long now? How long now? Hang on. You know what? Forget it. Forget it. I think I know what it is, and it's just not working. It's just not working. Like, I feel like this has to be it. I feel like this has to be it. I'm honestly really annoyed right now. Like, I'm really actually upset by this. This is insane. This is actually insane. The correct angle, I'm showing you what I'm like 99.9% sure is the correct angle. Oh my gosh. Like, I don't see how this can't be right. There's no other way this can look more like the blue badger. And it still doesn't look like the blue badger. Like, I don't know. You know, I'm looking this up because I'm getting extremely frustrated here. I'm actually getting kind of mad. But how to make the pot look like the blue badger. I'm very, very upset right now. Let's see what this guy says. Oh. Well, I think I see now. What? That's literally what the dude on... That's literally what the guy in this YouTube video just did. What I just did. That's it. Oh my. Hang on. Hey, look at this, guys. I don't understand. Is this not what I've been doing? Like, I don't know. And I hate doing this. I hate being the guy that does this, but I have literally been on this for probably 10 to 15 minutes. It's ridiculous, and I'm getting very, very angry. This is insane. Like, why is it doing this? What about that? Like, it's more angled? How? How is that not right? Oh my... How is this possible? Does it have to be, like, perfectly centered or something? You gotta be kidding me. And this thing is very fickle. Okay, let's see. How about that? That's what I've got on the video here, okay? Does that look... That looks pretty perfect to me. Thank you. Thank you. The comment on this video says, hardest boss in history. I did this 500 times, the exact same angle, but the game is so picky about it I missed by some millimeters, had to listen to the Blue Badger song over and over again. Painful. Yeah, you know what, I used to like the Blue Badger song, and now, I don't know, man. I don't know about it anymore. I have to personally apologize because that was very painful. Well, it's a miracle or what? No one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the Blue Badger. It looks a lot like it. It looks a lot like it. I'll say that. No, it can't be.
Order, order! The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious Blue Badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this.
Although we all enjoy Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's your point?
Huh?
So that badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything. I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything. What's different now that we know the witness saw the jar? I don't know. I'm gonna go with the murderer. Allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar. It's a very specific angle, I might add, Mr. Wright. Yes, well, knowing this, where could she have seen this jar? Where? The location of the jar is shown in a picture taken on the same day of the crime. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Gant. But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. The witness testified so herself. Yes, and it is these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room in Chief Gant's office. Are you implying the murder to move the victim's body from Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office? Yeah. Oh, why would you do that? There's no reason. Exactly. What? If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason. So I guess any of the three of those would have been right.
Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright?
I finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. Please. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying?
It would have to have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. Oh, he got impaled on that knife. Guaranteed. He must have got impaled on that knife. The man was knocked into the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on. What would he have hit? Ah.
The suit of armor, holding a very sharp and dangerous-looking sword.
Exactly. Since the man who was knocked in the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have had to have been Neil Marshall, wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy. No, Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking. Yes, there's another possibility of what actually transpired in that room.
Another possibility.
Of course the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nevertheless. I don't know if I can go through with this.
Mr. Wright, what's the matter?
If events took place, the defense theorizes, and the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man named Sky knocked away was actually prosecuting Neil Marshall. That means Emma killed Neil Marshall. Oh! No. No way. Like, it didn't process. Even when I said it out loud, it didn't process immediately. Oh my gosh.
Mr. Marshall died because of me?
She's fainted. Holy crap. I never imagined a testimony would lead to this.
So it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so within her own testimony. It's unprecedented.
Holy crap.
What are you saying?
I'm sorry, Miss Guy, but given the circumstances, Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her? Imagine that coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it?
I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. Do you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations? I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall?
Evidence?
I'm willing to bet you don't.
Yes, certainly would be difficult to prove with this evidence.
If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony.
I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead.
I certainly can't get dead people to testify, that's true. It's been a wild goose chase from the beginning. Touche, Miss Sky. Of course, it only is the one possibility. You mean there's still another possibility? Wow, Edgeworth. I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life, in one manner or another. That's impossible.
Well, Mr. Wright, it's the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist?
Well, it's in the evidence. It's got to be. This looks like it's the way the game is playing out. The message from the deceased is already in our possession.
Mr. Wright, will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer?
Do not be mistaken, Miss Sky. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There's only one thing we seek, the truth. Edgeworth, my boy, no matter how painful it may be.
Chad. Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us a piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased.
Okay, piece by piece. No. 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 Honestly, let's look at the picture. What is there anything in the picture that can tell us? Because this is where he died. It's got to be on that jar, no? That blood can tell us anything. Oh. Hang on. Look at this. Look at this. Follow the mouse cursor, alright? Alright. Dude, that totally spells Emma. That totally spells Emma. That's it. This is the message left by the deceased. We got it. This is that blue badger from before, right? Oh, is he just going to speak the killer's name? If that thing could, I'm sure it would. Looks like everyone's forgotten this is just a jar. The message was left here on the surface of this jar. What do you mean? If you look closely, you can see the faint trail of blood on this jar. It's like someone wiped the blood away. Yeah, but look. For some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away.
Yes, there's a line here. It's drawn in blood.
So what you're saying is these dots were once lines. Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used a few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message. One that someone apparently had wiped away, but blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions. Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points, and the victim's message will become apparent. No.
Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave for us?
Your Honor, I believe these bloodstains will reveal the answer. Right. So it's pretty obvious. Right? That's it. It's a defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking about saving Lana. After all my efforts, never thought it would turn out like this. Yeah, it's pretty dark. Wow. So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind.
Of all people, she may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life was Emma Skye.
Wow. Mic drop. That's nuts.
That's gonna be seaworthy? Can't say I didn't warn you.
Chief Gant, do you understand the implications of what you've done?
What? What are you talking about? 2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death.
He was convicted because of his final murder.
I believe you were the prosecutor in that case, were you not? Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction.
But Joe Dark really was a serial killer.
I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know? We aren't defenders of justice.
What?
We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter, even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery. Ultimately, the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied.
What? This trial is insane. The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. This trial is headed, no one knows. Well, that was equal parts exciting and painful. that was good. That was good. That's kind of like some real jaw-dropping stuff. But of course, as we're now in a trial recess, that is going to do it for us here. So, say thanks for watching to everyone who's turning in. I hope you all enjoyed. And I will see you on Friday for the continuation of the final trial. See you guys then.